Portugal.
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 Our vegetables are like rock stars.
Literally, Portugal is a small Disneyland for grown-ups.
You know, I think that Portugal is like my geographic soulmate.
It's hard to explain what it is because it's a feeling.
And when I went there, I absolutely fell in love with Portugal.
I wanted to feel the crunchiness.
Portugal, the Simple Life Podcast.
Portugal, the Simple Life Podcast.
And we're here on his podcast, Portugal Simple Life.
Portugal, the Simple Life Podcast, your insider's perspective into Portugal. And our latest episode starts right now. Because it's something that you talk about a bit on your...
Yeah. So, hi, my name is Alexa, and I'm a Nataholic. I haven't had a Pastel de Nata in 2 days.
How do you feel? How's the
it's starting to...
Are you doing a Pastel de Nata detox on purpose, or is it just that you haven't had a chance?
No, just I haven't had a chance, and I need to fix it today, maybe in the afternoon. No, it's like, it's a great pastry. It's super universal, right? Like, I bet you like it as well.
Not really. No, I do like it. But actually, I can't remember the last one that I had. Welcome back, or welcome to another episode of Portugal, the Simple Life. And I'm really delighted to be joined here by Alexa, just Alexa, not to be confused with Alexa from Amazon. It's not the same person or entity. So we're going to ask Alexa any questions only about Portugal. But
yes, I only answer to those.
But if you do ask Alexa from Amazon, it's not the same Alexa, so don't be disappointed if that happens. Okay. Alexa, thank you for being on the podcast. How are you today?
Thank you for having me. I'm great. Thanks.
Very good. Why don't you start off, Alexa, telling us a bit about you?
I'm Alexa. I've moved here to Portugal 10 years ago already, and I've only ever lived in Porto. And I love this place. The beginnings were a little bumpy. I used to work as, since I just finished university, I was working some odd jobs like bartendering, this kind of stuff. And then I actually managed to have some kind of career in my area, which is healthcare, laboratory medicine. And now I'm just a Portuguese person wannabe. I want to be Portuguese.
Yes, if anybody visits your Instagram page, it says I want to be I want to be Portuguese when I grow up.
Yeah. That's my goal. I mean, obviously it's half a joke, but it got to be a full-time job by itself since the bureaucracies are very demanding for it.
I understand. Tell us about how you first discovered this country and how you ended up here.
So it was kind of an accident. I wasn't always procuring to come here. I went on a trip. I went on a vacation with my best friend. We were traveling around Iberia, and along the way we met people. We fell in love with the culture, and few months after that, I was finishing my university and took my chance to come here. That's that.
Let's dig into that deeper. Okay, what was it that you discovered on that visit here on that time with what was it that drew you in that made you think actually I want to live here, I want to spend more time here?
At the beginning, it wasn't. I wasn't convinced I would like to live there. It was still, I was considering a trial period, the first year or two.
Okay.
And what I fell in love with was, first of all, a Portuguese man. And then the being laid back. I thought that I was living a very hectic life in Warsaw. So it was very much a breath of fresh air when I came here, and everything felt more relaxed, and I thought that I was missing this in my life. So that was part of the allure.
You're in Porto, right? In the city.
Yes.
Okay, so for a lot of Portuguese, they think that Porto is quite hectic and fast paced. I mean, what was the comparison? How would you compare the two? So I've been to Warsaw, and I must say Porto feels a bit like a village in comparison to Warsaw. What has it been like for you, that transition from a place like Warsaw to Porto?
It was, I guess there were ups and downs. At first, I was amazed how everything's much, much slower, and uh, not everything's a matter of life and death, and you can actually maybe just enjoy life. And then came a little bit of a down when I became a little bit more frustrated with things being slower, and like I wanted everything at once immediately. I just finished university. I wanted everything to be happening, and it wasn't. And now I am again at the up of being able to actually enjoy how it is here.
Yeah, because the big thing with Portuguese, and we'll talk about like why you think people are coming here and things like that, but a lot of it is that phrase, pace of life. And people come here they want the more relaxed pace of life. They want the slower pace of life. But there's two sides to that. It's great when you're sitting having a coffee or a pastel nata. We'll talk about pastel nata because I think you have something to share about that. But when you're just sitting around, it's great. When you're working or trying to get stuff done, it's also slow in some ways. How have you adapted now to that? Do you think it's something that's come with age, or just come with being here for a longer time? Because you've been here for 8 years now.
10 years.
10 years.
Yes, so it's a huge lesson of patience. Huge, huge, huge. And because I chose to have my life here at the end, I was going through many of those situations of frustration. And at the end, I guess, it was marvelously forced at me. I'm grateful that it happened, but it was a process.
How did you adapt to that? How did you just get into was it just a case of accepting it? We had a previous guest on the podcast who calls sometimes in Portugal you have to accept a beautiful surrender and just surrender to what it is. Do you think it was just something that, okay, I'm going to accept this lover of mine for the good and the bad?
I guess that's beautifully put. Yeah, some things you accept, some things you surrender to, because there are others that compensate for it. And then at the end, there are more of those good ones. You just are okay with waiting for something for paper for 3 years already. It's fine. It will come eventually, you know. Like, where are you hurrying up to? Just have a glass of wine.
Yeah. That is one thing about the Portuguese culture, I guess, is it'll be okay in the end. We don't maybe know when the end is coming, but it will be okay in the end, which is sometimes harder for us. I'm from Johannesburg in South Africa, and that's also the same thing. Like everything must happen now, and it's like you said, life or death. And then you come here, and it's people say, "No, don't worry about it. It'll happen. It'll come. It will get sorted out." But we don't know when, but it will happen.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It is beautiful. What were the things you mentioned? There were other things that overcompensated. The good versus the bad. What were some of the good things that you learned to appreciate living here for such a long time, a decade?
Wow, when you say it like that, it's yeah, it's a big chunk of time. So there was this thing that I didn't know I needed. I didn't know that it makes such an impact on a person's life. Since I come from Poland, we don't have that much sun around during a year. And then I started living here, and I understood that just by pure fact that sun is out, my well-being, my mood, everything like that improves. So that was a very, very big bonus for me, the one that I didn't account for. And then, yeah, the time. I mean, I magically ended up having much more time. The time that I didn't realize I had. I could stop using those scheduling calendars altogether. It's just we're going to meet in the evening. I set a whole evening for this event. I don't have to have exact hours scheduled in my calendar. And I found time.
That's a good thing. It's a good thing to find time. I agree. I never seemed to have time for anything when I lived in South Africa, and now it's like, yeah, there's time to enjoy things. There's time to stop. There's time to enjoy a sunset. You've got that amazing spot in Porto where people literally applaud as the sun sets. And that's, yeah, it's just amazing that, okay, we've got the time here to actually really appreciate something so beautiful. You've been in Porto for a long time. Our two biggest cities in Portugal have changed considerably in 10 years. What have you seen? How have you seen the city change since you've lived there?
Oh, well, I'm seeing many more people from abroad coming to live here. That's for sure. The city is getting modernized, which from my perspective is a good thing, because the city center, maybe not 10 years ago, but 15 or 20 years ago, city center in Porto was in a very bad condition. It was a place that you were not advised to go after 10 p.m. or something like that. And now it's so full of life, so touristy, so modernized. From my perspective, it's a good thing. So that changed. We have more connections with Ryanair.
Okay, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Oh, like, are we going to fight on, like, is tourism good or bad? It's good. It's good. It brings money. And I can fly to more places, so that's also good.
What do you think is bringing people to our country? You mentioned that you've just seen more and more people come from everywhere. What do you think is bringing people here? What do you think is keeping people here?
What's bringing people here? It's the sun, the beaches, the wine, and something that I shouldn't say because Portuguese people would get angry at me is that Portugal is cheap.
Yes.
Which is not, obviously, for people that live here, but from people traveling, it's one of the things that attract them.
Yeah.
What's keeping them? What's keeping them?
What's keeping them here?
Yeah, that's actually one of the things. I think not enough things keep them here, because when I first moved here, I had trouble finding friends. And when I did, people from abroad as well, they would end up leaving after a year or two because, well, the life wasn't as they expected it to be at the end. So yeah, the people that do end up staying, I really don't know.
You don't know, because
I don't know.
I see it. I see it a lot. I've been here 16 years, and from my perspective, I was never expecting Portugal to substitute and replace the life that I had in South Africa. I knew I was coming to something that would be completely different to what I was used to. And looking back, I think that's probably the thing that, I wouldn't say saved me, but the thing that helped a lot was just always being aware that I'm in a different place. Not just the language is different, but the way of doing things is different. The people are different. The social life is different. And so when things happen that I didn't quite understand or that were maybe disappointing, I always knew, okay, well, I knew I was expecting it to be different. So it wasn't like the shock, like, oh my God, I'm so devastated that it hasn't worked out that way. I mean, I know it was a long time ago for you, but did you come with that kind of attitude that I know this is going to be different. I'm not trying to run away from another life and replace it with something else. How was that for you?
Yes, I did want to. I knew that I was coming for something different, and I treated it as such a like adventure, and everything was exciting. I didn't have big expectations at that point in my life. Like, imagine just finishing university, the
Yeah,
whole
different
world
time
is
of life.
open. So yeah, that was the point that I moved here. And I think people to decide to stay here a lot because of the family connections that at the end they end up doing. Like, I see a lot of people that try to start a career here, and at the end it doesn't really pan out. At the end they must move to either Lisbon or even outside of Portugal. But if they start a family here, for example, or like find a close group of friends, Portuguese are amazing people. So at the end, it's really worth just staying to feel for this feeling of being at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said at the beginning it was a bit difficult to make friends. I found when I first came, making acquaintances was really easy. Having a close like circle of friends, that took time. Have you made friends?
Yeah, at this point I have.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. What do you said you said you mentioned the Portuguese people. I mean, what do you want to say about the Portuguese people? Because they're the ones that kind of make the place what it is. What what do you want to say about the Portuguese? You don't
So
have
I
to
think
speak about Portuguese men. Okay, I'm just putting a disclaimer. If you want to, you can, but I'm not going to force you to.
no. What I was going to say is that the closest, the first moment that I got close to Portuguese people was when I started working in a Portuguese company, where everybody was Portuguese. So they were also a little bit forced to work with me, right? And get to know me. And like, this was the way that we became really close. This was the way that I improved my language a lot. And they are, how do you say it in English? Like, they have their heart on palms of their hands. Like, a lot of them, what they think, they say, sometimes in a funny way, sometimes in a little bit of a rough way, especially in the north.
Yeah.
But, and they tend to start arguments easily, at least from my Eastern European perspective. They start arguments easily, but they then don't dwell on it. Then they have, we can argue, and then 5 minutes later we can hug and laugh and have a cafezinho again. It's those very fast arguments that mean nothing, just their expression of being Portuguese.
Did you find that the arguments were quite were about I also started working in a Portuguese company immediately, and I found the arguments were usually around like football, food, a lot of arguments about food. And okay, of course, there's arguments about work, but it was over very quickly. Did you find any of that? Did you have any culture shock there where the seriousness about these things, a coffee, whether it's poured the right way or not, or with food, that they took so seriously?
I guess I don't enter the arguments about football, but every other. For example, what was shocking for me is that in a workplace, you treat your colleagues as friends. So at some point, there are those interpersonal dramas evolving, and a lot of arguments is on because she said that, because she thinks that, and so there's a lot of that in a workplace. and food, obviously comparisons, like whose mother does better bolinhos de bacalhau, or what if the food from north or from the south is better. Like, yeah, food is a constant topic. That's true. I don't enter people. It's like it's too much for me, but the others I can handle.
We're going to talk about food in a little bit. You mentioned that you started that working with Portuguese helped with the language. How much did that change your integration? How much did that change how much did that change your experience of Portugal once you were able to have a conversation and chat to people in their language?
No, that's obviously the key. The reason why it took me 1.5 years to get a job in my area is because I didn't speak proper Portuguese. And even though, the ad could have been written in English, but at the end, they really needed me to speak Portuguese, not only for professional reasons, but also from social reasons. And me learning Portuguese changed dramatically how I was perceived. I stopped being this foreigner, this estrangeira, and I became their pet Polish person. But like a real friend. That was the key.
Yeah. I love your Instagram page. It's really, really entertaining. And people need to watch it and listen or see it. But I have a couple of questions based on some of the things that you've regularly commented about or posted on your Instagram. First of all, what is a false tuga?
Well, that's a very recent thing. I think the meme started circulating like a week ago, and I think it's a Portuguese take on, that Portuguese people emigrate a lot as well, and then the people living abroad create second generations, and those second generations like to spend summer in Portugal. Okay. So I think it's a joke on that they are Portuguese, but they lost their culture. In the meantime, they just come here spending vacation, and they don't know what's a bifana because that's like too much already.
Yeah, in the French, I think they refer to them as avecs when it's the French Portuguese that come back. I've always heard that word, avec. But yeah, I didn't know I hadn't heard about a false tuga. So yeah, that's
no,
for
I
people.
Think it was yeah.
What's that?
I think it was a brilliant meme. I think it was really funny.
For people who don't know, tuga is like a slang word for Portuguese. It's not a racial or derogatory thing. It's just like a slang for Portuguese, and it comes from a long time ago. Yeah,
well, there is this detail that it's better if a Portuguese person uses that.
Yes, we can't use it. Yeah, that's true. You also posted about a Slavic face versus a Portuguese face, or Slavic state. Yeah, so what is that?
Can you say drilled?
No.
Well, I think like in Eastern Europe in general, we are not encouraged to show emotions or even live emotions, which is the total opposite here. People are very emotional. And that was also one of the things that was a little hard for me to understand. This and just being nice and smiley for people that you don't know. I'm not used to that culturally. I mean, now I am, but I wasn't.
Between my job as a realtor at Portugal Realty and hosting this podcast, life is pretty busy. But lately I've been receiving so many messages from people that want to know more about buying property here on Portugal's Silver Coast that I've got to do something about it. So starting now, for subscribers only, I'm offering up a 30-minute session per day That's 5 30-minute sessions for a one-on-one meeting to talk about buying property here on Portugal's beautiful Silver Coast. This is for subscribers only. So please subscribe to book your session and get in touch with us through the links below via WhatsApp or email to book your session today. I'll be happy to speak to you. It's for subscribers only and it's completely free. Are there any similarities in the Portuguese culture where for you from Poland or to be more broad or Eastern Europe, where you like actually these two things, there are some similarities in the Portuguese culture that we have in Poland?
Well, I would have to dig a little deeper, but I think the fact that, as you mentioned, it was easy to make acquaintances, but hard to make friends. I think Polish people are also amazing friends, but you need to first go through that first barrier of acquaintance, and that's not the easiest part. I think this is the end of similarities.
That's it? No others?
No, I also heard those kind of opinions that we are similar in some ways, but I don't see that.
No, and directness, because sometimes Portuguese can be quite direct. Like you said, they say what they're thinking. How is that?
Okay, but that's northern Portugal with the whole Poland, I guess, yes. South is a little bit more pleasant, right?
Yeah, I think the guys from the north are a bit more. In Portuguese, would use the word would use the word bruta, a little bit.
Yeah, but it's a sweet bruto.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
What do you want to tell us about Pastel Nata? The floor is yours. Go.
Well,
because it's something that you talk about a bit on your.
Yeah. So hi, my name is Alexa, and I'm a nataholic. I haven't had a pastel de nata in 2 days.
How do you feel?
How's the actually little. Yeah, it's starting to.
Are you doing a pastel nata detox on purpose, or is it just that you haven't had a chance?
No, just I haven't had a chance, and I need to fix it today, maybe in the afternoon. No, it's like it's a great pastry. It's super universal, right? Like I bet you like it as well.
Not really. No, I do like it. But actually, I can't remember the last one that I had. Actually, to be honest.
Have you tried the Dubai pastel de nata?
With the Dubai chocolate?
The Dubai chocolate pastel de nata. Yeah, you can buy it.
No, where do you get it now? Where do you get that?
In Lidl.
Oh, really? No, I haven't tried. Yeah. Is it good?
Yeah.
I don't actually know the big deal with the Dubai. I don't actually understand the big deal with the Dubai chocolate. I haven't really. I've tried it once and I don't know what the
pastel nata is so much better. So much better.
Yeah, we don't need to add anything to the pastel nata.
No, not even chocolate. Like I don't get the chocolate pastel nata thing. It's also a common no. Like I don't think it's.
Do you put cinnamon on it?
Yeah, I do. Obligatory.
Do you?
No powdered sugar. No powdered sugar. It has to be cinnamon.
No. Cinnamon.
Yeah.
Do you have to drink something with it? Do you have coffee? Do you have something else? Or are you happy to have it just on its own?
It tastes great. Like I also the other day I encountered like having a glass of wine in a bar at night. They would be serving pastéis de nata to go with a glass of wine. Genius, and it was great as well. It goes amazing with like basically any pastelaria, any continent sells a kit of cafezinho and a nata for like €1. It's the staple thing to have in the morning. I haven't tried it with like Coca-Cola or anything like that, but I bet it goes well with them as well. Anything.
I'm not sure if I've had it with Coca-Cola. I think it's sweet enough that you don't need a Coca-Cola as well. But yeah. what do you still need to do in order to become Portuguese? If you want to become Portuguese when you grow up, what do you think you still need to do in order to become Portuguese?
I need to learn how to gossip more. Uh, um,
Do
it's
you
one
want
of
to
the
try now? Do you want to try? You can, if you want, you can gossip now about a neighbor or a boss or.
about that. I'm so horrible at that.
Okay, so that's going to be a challenge. What
Yes.
else? What else do you
Yes.
think you have to be able to do before you can become?
I have to start being able to distinguish wine because for now, and it's been 10 years, I mean, it's so embarrassing, but for now I can distinguish between red, white, and rosé. There
Okay.
are three. No, but like
And verd.
I would love to
You
be
know,
able to.
you know the difference between a white wine and a vinho verde, right?
I know that the process of making it is different, but for me, if the color is the same, then it's just white. I know that
Doesn't taste different.
that's the problem. Like I'm not sophisticated enough for this country, and I would love to be able to distinguish Vinho Verde with the white wine. And like if it comes from Alentejo, if it comes from Douro, just not there yet. Maybe they deliver this kind of skills when I get my nationality already, like a
Maybe.
process of nationality. You get the stamp, and now you know. I don't know.
I didn't get one when I became a Portuguese citizen. So yeah, I'm sorry to
Okay,
tell you, but but you do have to do a wine tasting course before you get it. No, you
no,
don't.
but you can distinguish verde from white.
Yes,
See, that you're so much ahead of me.
but
16 years.
it's quite easy because one is a bit fizzier and the other one's not fizzy. Yeah. So normally Vinho Verde's got a little bit of bubbles to it. It's got a little bit of more fizziness.
Okay, because it's made from the grapes that are not mature enough. Or something.
Exactly. They're not it's also from a region, but there's a Verde region, but also the grapes haven't matured, so they're a little bit more fizzy. Is the best way I can describe it. But then it's not like a Vinho Frisant that you get, that they pour out of a jar, that you get on tap that's also not Verde. That's Vinho Frisant. So it's different. So you don't have a favorite wine region. So that's something that we have to work on if you want to be, Portuguese when you grow up, is what's your favorite wine region? You could just go with a simple answer because you're in Porto and say the Douro.
Yeah, but my friends, well, I had to adapt. My friend's favorite region is Alentejo, so I will be swearing by that region. Like the best wines there, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's a good place to start. Have you mastered the art of the long goodbye in Portugal? That's another step to.
Yeah, there's those several phrases and several words that you have to repeat 5 or 10 times, and that's it. You're golden.
Ciao, 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 ciao.
Tchau,
Com
obrigada.
licença.
Tchau, até logo, tchau, beijinhos. Beijinhos para a família, te porta bem. Tchau, 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 até amanhã. Tchau, tchau. Beijinhos, tchau, tchau, tchau.
Exactly. I always something that I battled to get used to is people would say te logo, te já, or tamanha, and I knew that I wasn't going to see them. And I'm like, okay, why? Why are you telling me that? I'm not. Why? Oh, are we seeing each other later? No, no. And then they would be confused because I was confused. Now I've got it, I think.
Yeah, and I think it's a sign of sympathy, not sympathy, but like that they like you. That I like you so much that I would like to see you soon. Até já, até logo, até amanhã. But the reality is I won't. But I still like you.
Yeah, I like that optimism. It's good positive thinking, that one. Yeah. We always tease my wife because she'll say ciao like maybe 15 times when she hangs up the call. Ciao, 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 ciao. It's like a family joke. But yeah, the longer goodbye. And when it's in person, it's even more longer because you actually have to physically leave. And then it's how many kisses and how many handshakes and hugs.
infinite. There's no limit. Sky's the limit.
Do you like that? Because I know, like with Polish culture, it's not a very affectionate culture.
No, it's absolutely the opposite. We shake hands and we say bye when we're leaving, and this is it. It's not an event of itself to be having to leave. As all the other things, I got used to it, and I'm getting better at it. And Portuguese people can evaluate that on my page if I'm making any progresses. I'm documenting everything.
Do you take any Portugueseness back to Poland when you visit? Like the kiss or the hug or the long goodbye?
Sorry, I didn't understand, I think.
Do you take any of those Portugueseisms, like the long goodbye? Do you take it back to Poland by accident sometimes and then get a strange look or a weird reaction?
Yes, well, it happens with a number of kisses, right? Because we do 3 in Poland, and then it's, a habit when I go to Poland and I stop at the second one, and everybody's like, the classic.
Yeah.
But no, I guess at my core, whenever I cross the border of Poland, some switches, and I'm Ola again, because my name's not Alexa. I'm Ola. I just stopped using Ola in Portugal because it's too confusing.
For obvious reasons. Yes. Okay.
So.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. What about, you spoke about how you've seen Porto change and we've seen Portugal change in the years that we've lived here. What about this country would you not want to change? What are the things that you want to stay the same, that you would like to preserve?
I really like this straightforwardness that I'm experiencing. The way people open up to other people that in Poland we just don't. They talk about very personal stuff with friends, and that way, like, I think they create stronger bonds. I'm talking obviously in comparison to my Polishness, and this thing of how they love to socialize and how they believe this is important part of life. They put effort to always have time for their friends, their family, and how a little bit more easygoing they are.
Yeah, have you got used to the super long lunches? It's like when they say, I'm inviting you for lunch, they don't actually say, they won't use the word almoço, they'll say convívio. Like, it's not just going to be an hour of eating and then you leave. It's the whole afternoon. Have you?
Yeah. There's no starting hour. There's not finishing hour. You can't plan around it.
Yeah.
You just have to commit a day for that.
Yeah, you better just not make any other arrangements, because you don't know how long it could go on for, or how you're going to be, what kind of state you're going to be in afterwards.
Exactly. No, I haven't, especially at work. First of all, we're not used to eating in the middle of the day. So 15 minutes or half an hour of a break would be enough for me. And at my work, I would have to have 1 hour, and sometimes it was even up until 2 hours break in the middle of the day. And that was a little bit, frustrating to break my day in half like this.
Yeah, but then you realize that it's no point in fighting it, because if you stay at work and try to do stuff, there's nobody else doing anything at that time of the day.
Oh, yeah.
So you're just alone.
Same with the whole month of August. I don't know. Did you try to do something last month?
No, I don't. Yeah.
I tried.
And how did that go?
Did not go.
Did not go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it's something quite beautiful. Our time is precious. So the time that we have is precious. The lunches is not just a rush. Our holidays are not a rush. Weekends, in Portugal, we make the best of the time that we have, it's a good way to live.
Yeah. I think it's about putting values in those things that actually matter, right? Spending time with the people that you care about.
Yeah. What advice would you give to people, Alexa? You've lived here a long time. You've integrated. You've become part of a community. What advice would you give to people that want to do the same? Because there's something special that happens in Portugal when you come in with an open mind and you come in wanting to try learn the language and to try be a part of the Portuguese things and the Portuguese ways. Something special happens. So, I mean, what advice would you give to people who are listening? We've got people listening from all over the world. We do have Polish listeners, but from the US, from the UK. What advice would you give to people that want to come in and be part of something here, not just come and be, but come and integrate? What advice would you like to give to people?
So yeah, even though a lot of Portuguese people, especially in Lisbon, speak English, learning Portuguese is an absolute must if you want to integrate. There's no going around, really. And other than that, you have to come with a lot of patience that maybe at the beginning you weren't expecting that you're going to need. But yeah, Portugal is just a big lesson of patience.
Okay,
I think
good advice. Why should the Portuguese people be proud of their country?
Okay, I think they should be proud of who they are as people because they are great people. Now maybe a little bit less, but this 10 years ago, I felt like they were super open for getting to know my culture, being curious about just getting to know people.
Let me ask you about that curiosity because I come from a culture where if somebody starts asking you a lot of questions, you should start being very suspicious of them because why are you asking me that? What do you want from me? And then I came here and people are so curious, but it's just curiosity. It's actually just a real innocent curiosity that they just want to know more about you and what you're doing in there. Did you also struggle with that at the beginning, the curiosity?
Yeah, the curiosity, and what comes out of that is the ability to gossip, right? They try to get more material to gossip about.
Okay.
And
See, that's a
it's
woman's
also
reply.
socialized.
That's a woman's answer. Like there's the gossiping part is I wouldn't have thought about it that way, but it makes sense
No. Like men gossip so much. Come on,
as well. Okay.
Portuguese. I see that a lot. Like the men sitting around the cafes until late nights, just talking about other people.
The old men or all ages.
Maybe older, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's because they don't have much else to do, so it's just like, okay, well, let's just talk about the neighbors and what I
Sure.
saw, which is quite nice, if that's all that if you've got time to do that as well.
Exactly, and that's the thing that also like really warms my heart that you don't see in Eastern Europe. Older people just having their own life, having social circles, spending times in the cafes, having like their playing cards with a neighbor on the street. In Poland, like it doesn't happen. Older people just keep like close at home.
Yeah. Have you got into the because I mean, speaking of the old men, they like to have that drink, the aguardente or the bagaço. Have you got into that, or because you guys over there in Poland got the potato vodka, which is pretty strong. Polish whiskey is a thing as well. I have a lot of Polish clients, and they've given me some of these things, and it's pretty rough stuff. Have you gotten used to have you tried the aguardente and the bagaços and those things?
Well, I tried out of curiosity, but I did not get into the habit of having those. No, just Pastel de Nata for me.
Yeah, that's probably a better thing to be addicted to.
Yeah, I
I
guess.
think, yeah, it's a little bit better. Okay, I don't want to keep you much longer because you need to go and get your pastel nata fix. But one thing that you'd like people to remember and to take away from our conversation.
Well, well, that's, Portugal is a great country, and that you can actually be happy here if you give it a chance, and just go with the flow. And I think give it a chance is a good description of it.
Yeah, Portugal is not an instant coffee that you're gonna like pour out of a bag and it's straight away exactly what you're expecting. I think the big thing from your story, you gave it time, and that's super important. With everything, it's good advice for everything. How can people follow you? How can people follow you?
So I'm mostly on Instagram, and I'm your Portugal. And it's Porto and Gal. It's not Portugal. I didn't make a mistake there. It's Porto and Gal. Because I do get a lot of backlash of that.
Yeah, good name. One more question, Alexa, and a question that we ask all of our guests. Portugal, the simple life. Why?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, like I could tackle it from two angles. First is that, well, it's this, I think, special power of Portuguese people to turn things, even complicated things, into simple ones. It's called arte de desenrascanço. It's like they can solve things in creative way, and sometimes with very limited resources. And yeah, that's like desenrascanço, right? And at the end, they give value to things that we consider simple. So family, spending time with the family, and relax, just being a little bit slower, having your life slower, those sort of things.
Yeah, I like that. It's true. Alexa, let's wrap it up. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much for having me.
Shall we do a long goodbye? Just
okay.
Sim. Ciao.
Tchau.
Obrigado.
Tchau.
Com
Obrigado.
licença.
Tchau.
I'm not going to see you tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
So thank you once again to our guests, and thank you to all of you for listening. Please subscribe, share with your friends, give us a thumbs up, and please leave a comment or a review. We always love to hear from you. Don't forget, Portugal The Simple Life also has a magazine, so download it. It's for free. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode, and as we say in Portugal, sejas bem-vindo. Welcome to The Simple Life.